Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Hello everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar, and they call me on the phone. And they say, "Hey, man, what's that show about anyway?" So it's about an hour. It's about guitars, guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic. So if you want to call me on the phone and ask me a question about, how to play the guitar, the care and feeding of your guitar, what sort of guitar might be right for you, or some related topic like the guitarra, sitar, lutes, uds, vihuelas, banjos, balaicas, bazookas, bajos, sextos, chitoles, mandolins and bandolins, bandoras, bandurias, guitarrones, pipe organs, piccolos, cuatros, cavaquinhos. Have I mentioned banjolales or ukuleles or banjolins, mandolins, mandoras, mandolas, bassoons? I don't know, bass guitars? Anything musical is fine. Clarinets, clavinets, flutes, piccolos, pianolos, pianos, harmoniums, harpsichords, harmonicas. Yeah, that stuff's okay. French horns, English horns. I'm broad-minded. Politics, world events, your own personality problems, that's fine. Their number appears on your screen from time to time. There's one on there right now, I think. You can call me, as long as it's Tuesday, shortly after 6, because if it's some other time you're watching a rerun, this is live TV, everybody, so anyway. When are you on? I'm sorry. Boring myself. I saw somebody yawn earlier, and I caught it. This week I have I've been wanting to play this guitar in the show again. I really enjoy this guitar. It's a Cordoba GK Pro, it's called, and it's an electric flamenco guitar, and made out of a alpine, I believe, spruce top, European spruce anyway, and a cypress. Sides and back. And it has a little pickup in it. Also has a microphone in it. So I'm playing this along with Skubinski has returned. So I'm playing this one through the Fishman Loud box down there. And, it's just really easy to play. Got my Labella 420 Elite red treble flamenco guitar strings, which I have to send away for. They're actually very inexpensive. Very crisp. A little reverb on the amp. I got this here Vox Little Looper, which I've had in the show a couple times before. I got it recently used very inexpensively. And has a couple of virtues. One, it can operate on AA batteries, and it seems to go a long time on 6 AA's. And the other thing it has two pedals on it, so I can actually just do a really short, So I've got this loop, so I can make a loop of this just for measure. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I didn't do a very good job of that. Okay, I'm going to kill it. How about I didn't push the button exactly. 1, 2, here we go. So that's just one measure. I can make another loop. 2, buckle my shoe. So I have two synchronized loops, a little drummer loop and a percussive loop. I'm just fooling around, not doing my best, you know. Well, I was doing all that with a not that well executed. This guitar, I mean, it's doing a little rhythm part, right? So, but this guitar is like. I gotta kill it. All right, I killed it. Anyway, I haven't really done the kind of work I've been planning on. I have another looper that it was kind of hard to use and it was easy to put on a shelf. And I'll probably sell it one of these days. It was the Boss RC30, which is kind of a cool looper, but there's all kinds of stuff you have to do, and you kind of have to get down and push buttons on it. Sorry, boring myself. But this one's a little simpler to use and significantly cheaper. So if I kill it, I can get another one. And it does the same things. It's, I mean, so the idea is you can, with a normal looper, the little loopers that I normally would use, if you wanted to do a rhythm part, it has to be the entire length of the song. You establish the first loop before you overdub on top of your loops, what they call layering. Your first loop has to be the length of the song. So if I want to have 36 bars or something, I've got to record 36 bars. This one I can do just one measure of something, and then it will synchronize with everything else. So anyway. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Yeah, just well, when you're hot, you're hot. Hang on a second.
I just wanted to mention that we've had a long-standing tradition of this being a telephone call-in show.
Yeah.
Everything's gone to the internet now, and we kind of get away from our local roots sometimes, just in general, not just here, but we are community-based television here, and we've had a number of callers in the past that were pretty much regulars, almost kind of part of the show, that would always call in with good questions and stuff. So one of the problems we've had lately is our nice little table that we had for the telephone is no more, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for you to answer phone calls from the floor, but at least I moved the phone over to you at home. If you're watching, you can see it to the right under the graphics bar there with the phone number. But Sarah, when she sets up the show, she very always puts the current date on. So if people are out there and want to call in, and Bob, we haven't heard from our snowbirder.
Haven't heard from Bob at all, no.
So maybe if he's watching tonight, he can call in. I think it looks like the phone is plugged into 4, and I do have that unmuted, so I think we should be able to get audio.
And I think that the button of the hang up, where you hang it up, I think it's supposed to be down at all times if you use a speakerphone. So the receiver's supposed to be on it to be speakerphone, so I think it has to be taped down if we use it as a speakerphone.
Okay, well, we got it taped down, don't we? Or do we?
This microphone is, but the little button is.
Oh,
where you hang it up?
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, could you do me a favor and
Sure.
put this over there?
Absolutely.
There we go. I was feeling. I was kind of cool earlier, but I'm under the French fry lights. Like where they put the light on the French fries to keep them hot.
Absolutely.
So.
And anyway, just to conclude about the phone, if we can't get you on the air, if you have a question or a request or something that I could relay to Tom, because I'd have audio connection with you from the control room. Anyway, maybe we can reinstitute the occasional nice phone calls that we used to get.
Twitter is the thing is that I've Because I remember like we'd count the number of calls we had because we had a call log back in the old days of the show, back in the 90s. And in those days, people would call all the time. And we had like 17 was a really common number, you know.
Yeah,
But
those days are kind of long gone. I
yeah,
think.
but the thing is, people don't talk on the phone anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Except I notice a lot of people do talk on the phone, usually while they're driving, and they
Right.
don't signal their lane changes, and they aren't really focusing. I've noticed that a lot lately, and it's been troubling me. But
Well,
much better, it's much better than
not
texting.
yeah, at least they're not texting. Yes.
Yeah. But the Twitter is a thing to do. So I believe that on the
Do we have a
Tom's,
Twitter?
well, Tom's Guitar Show, but All Things Guitar Tom has a Twitter. I guess it's All Things Guitar Tom. And that's on the front of the web page. I'm having the. I hope that this is being live streamed. I think that's the idea. It's supposed to go through live streaming.
I can actually check right now.
Okay. Well, the Twitter thing's supposed to be the way people communicate now. You know. I mean, yawn again. I'm sorry.
We're not presently streaming now.
Okay. All right. Well.
Well,
Well,
leave it to Jim to be back in the 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Well, I mean, people might want to call. I mean,
Yeah, they're welcome to. It's an option that people have, and you know, like I say, we have a couple of people that have called in over the years and have good questions and stuff, and they might want to be part of the show. So with both Twitter and phone calls, we've got all sorts of options then.
one thing I say, some people have told me that I have people tell me, you know, as I wander about in the world, that they watch my show, or they wonder if my show is still on because now they have the satellite or whatever. And a lot of people don't want cable TV anymore. They have other ways of getting their television. So there should be like a live streaming. It's of course on YouTube if you want to watch it. But the thing is that there are, of course, other ways to communicate.
Right.
And we are, you know, in this
It's an
different
internet
world.
world, yeah.
So, but people watch the show and they say, well, I'd call in, but I have nothing to say. I was thinking, well, that doesn't never stopped anybody before.
No, it
So,
hasn't.
I mean, you know, what the heck?
And people tend to depreciate the value of their own thoughts or their own questions, and they probably really do have something to say. They're just timid and think that it's not worth saying. But if it's a musical question or about the guitar or all things guitaristic, yeah.
Well, things guitars are, but there are a lot of things people wonder about guitars and things that they may not know. And of course, I fool around with guitars every day, and have for a long time. And so there are very basic questions that maybe people don't want to ask somebody who's like, has a guitar Jones like I do. And Jones is, I think, an old slang term for addiction. You know, like simple questions like, you know, what does that do? Or something like that. And that's not a dumb question because I will answer, try to shed light on very elementary questions on a more or less daily basis too. So, sorry, I'm boring myself or something. See, I can't sleep at night, you know. Guilty conscience? No, amorous cat. I live with a small animal, and as time goes by, I believe she's 9 now. When we first got her, she didn't seem to like humans at all. She liked the other cat, who was deceased now. But Torben, he was everything to her, and the one she admired more. But then when he passed away, and she became top cat. But one thing is that starting somewhere when she was about 6 or 8 months old, she started to like me, kind of. You know, I was the first human she seemed to like. And then as time has gone by, she's taken a liking to a lot of people, but her love for me has only expanded. And to the point where it's kind of obnoxious, really. You know, like I'll be trying to sleep.
Demanding attention at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And like, you know, so she can come upstairs holding one of her little stuffed animals that she has. These are actually dog toys that have a squeaker in the tail. They're kind of sloppy. It's like for a smaller dog to like tug a war on, but they're kind of limp and stuff. So she'll bring one up the stairs, you know, in her mouth, meowing at the same time, meowing with her mouth full of, you know, a furry thing. And I know what she really wants is to bring us a dead rat that she caught, but we don't have a dead rat or a live rat anywhere. I suppose if a mouse got into the house, that'd probably be the happiest day of her life. But the mice know better than to, infiltrate our space because her space. So she'll bring one of these little toys up there, rah, rah, and the lady says, look what I got for you. And she'll get in the bed and get under the covers and like knead my belly with her paws, kneading, and then with little claws and stuff like that. Or she'll get right next to my face and she'll pat my face with her paw like this. If that doesn't do anything, she'll like stick a claw just a little bit, and poke me, and she wants to commune with me. Really, is what it is.
And if you shut the door and leave her out in the hall, then she meows until you open the door.
I think howling is more like it, and also banging on the door, like that. I wouldn't do that. So it's just one of those things. And she's for a long time. Of course, I would sit there and stare at the darn computer at night. I read a lot on the computer. Mostly, it's my I read a lot, and so the cat would sit on my lap till my leg went completely asleep, and then she'd wake up and say, "I'm going to go someplace more comfortable," and so I put a soft blanket, in the winter a hot water bottle underneath it on the student chair in my music room, where I teach, and that'd be her soft little place with the hot water bottle, and she'd go there and fall asleep, and then I could go to bed, and she would probably remain there, but she's changed in the last couple of months, and then more and more often she wants to sleep in bed, with us. I'm actually I'm married. I share a bed with another human, my wife, and so it's sort of a. I don't think saying ménage à trois would be the thing to say on a show like this. It's a family, so I won't say that. But
wouldn't even really be true anyway.
Well,
maybe affectionally, maybe, but
it's a menagerie anyway.
Yeah.
It
includes an animal, so that's
a non-human. We're all animals of one sort, but this is a non-human animal, and. So anyway, I try to explain to the little one that I'm really a dog person, but she doesn't seem to care. So
yeah, cats don't tend to details like that. That they're just not interested in those details.
Well, some people, they come home smelling like another animal, and their animal gets very unhappy about this.
Sure.
She doesn't seem to mind. I consort with dogs and occasionally other cats. Don't know that many other cats, but there seem to be a lot of dogs about. I mean, I see cats, but I don't, Yeah. So, yeah.
So if that puts the context, if we see you coming here at 5 o'clock and you've got some circles under your eyes and you might be yawning a little bit, this is some of the context that is creating that situation.
Well, I only have so much time to sleep, you see. And then, of course, the animal in question naps frequently. And nobody can make a nap look more delicious than a cat, you see. And so, yeah. Anyway, I'm talking about my personal life, but yeah, Attila. Well, I call her Attila because she was a real terror as a kitten, but she's quite sweet now. I call her Tilly mostly, but one guy was telling me that his guitar, these scratches on the back of it. He said, it's probably the cat. I thought, my cat has never abused a guitar in any way. I had a dog with a great big tail that I used to take to work with me every day at the guitar shop, and I had these little guitar stands, and he would wag that tail, but he never knocked over a valuable guitar. Maybe these like really cheap guitars that I didn't respect that were made in factories across the Pacific, and very inexpensive, and occasionally he would knock one of those over with that enormous tail. He's like a 100-pound dog. We had a huge tail.
Was he trained to sniff out poor quality guitars then?
I think he just knew. I think he grew up with it. When I got him at Stone City, and I was a guitar player up there. I was up there every Friday, Saturday night at the inn at Stone City, and then I occasionally played at the general store, and I bartended or took tickets to the door and stuff like that. And he came from there. So as a little puppy, I actually sometimes what happened was somebody wouldn't show up or wouldn't come for their gig, and so I would just play the gig. And so I was sitting up there on the stage with my guitar, and I had my puppy with me because he came from there, so he could hang around with his mother, while I was playing my gig. But since he was up at the end, so I went down the hill to the general store, and I ended up playing the concert that night. And he, like a week after I got him, he was like 6 weeks old, 7 weeks old. He wasn't even hardly weaned. He was there sleeping on the stage, and that was his lifestyle. He sat through thousands and thousands of music lessons. He seemed to like the banjo players the best. I like to joke is the way they smell, but I don't think that's appropriate, so I won't say that. But yeah, sorry, nattering on. But yeah, and Attila, or Chili, the little kitty, she has a lot of personal friends among my music students. And there's Ted, the banjoist. She loves Ted. She knows when Ted's coming. Seems to know when he pulls up, and then she's there and has to pay her respects. But she really likes certain students a lot. Seems to have a real strong attraction to really macho men, like and tough guys who maybe have been in some fights and done a lot of hard manual labor and so forth. Maybe military people she really likes. Some people she likes the best. There's one guy who was a really tough guy, career military guy. Took guitar for a while. She was crazy about him. She'd get up in his lap and just roll around and I don't know. She also likes short men from India for some reason, but more than other people. She likes women, but she just really has a thing about men. I don't know what it is. People tell me that certain animals are gender specific, Like there's
bias towards which human gender they're going to bond to, or
yeah, well, they're biased towards certain genders. Yeah, which particular gender that there are. We will often hear of like dogs who don't like men, they only like women, things like that.
Well, there's probably survival potential in either case. I mean, there's probably survival advantages to bonding with men and women, and there are probably both to diversify the. So yeah, cats these animals are pretty darn smart in survival.
Well, they know a lot about us because. I mean, as a species, we've been living with dogs for a very, very long time, and cats not quite so long, but we're talking thousands of years. And we've had these animals with us as our companions. So, they know us really well, and I think they understand us very well. I've known a lot of cats and dogs, and I'm not. I know people who love dogs and hate cats, or the other way around. And I'm personally, I don't have a preference. I think a cat's maybe a little bit less maintenance.
They're a little easier to, especially if you live in small quarters. Like if you have an apartment or something, the cat's the way to go.
Probably. They still.
But in any rate, it's like having another kid.
Yeah. Well, my kid's up and out. I mean, he's in college. He's got his own place.
Right, now you have the cat.
Yeah, well, I had the cat for a while.
Who may be taking even more time than Abram ever did.
Yeah, well, yeah, but see the cat, well, I guess I'm not always there during the day. And Abram went to school during the day for a long time. I mean, he still does, but, university. But yeah, the cat has needed a lot.
And then when he became a teenager, the less he saw of you, the better, because kids at that age always distance themselves from their parents.
That's true.
Striking out on their own and gaining autonomy.
Yeah. Well, we've always gotten along real well and everything.
Oh, sure,
he's got his own.
It's just a natural part. Everybody.
He's got his own life. He's got his own
right.
thing, and I see him even less now. He lives 7 blocks away from me. He's like, but but the cat, she has these routines. She got up this morning, and I was trying to make my coffee, and she wanted to go out on her harness, so I let her out in the harness, and I started making the coffee, and then but it's cold and drab out there, so she wanted to come back in, and then she wanted her breakfast, so she has a canned food in the morning, so we got to get last night's canned food, but then I had to heat it up, so I put it in the bowl, and I put the bowl on a metal bowl, which I had hot water in to heat it up for a few minutes while I was doing the coffee and doing my other things that I had to do before I could get the coffee, and then the food's ready. I give her the food, so I give her the food, and then I get the coffee and everything ready to go. But no, she's got to go out again now that she's had her breakfast. She wants to go out again for a little while, and then they have to let her in. You can't stay too far from the door because I'd like to let her in again because it's not. I mean, on a nice sunny day, she might want to stay out there for an hour, but she's got to keep an eye out on the birds and things that are, in the trees and whatever. But this has been going on for 9 years with her, so we've had her about 9 years now. So anyway, one of those things. But, you know, I've have a cat, and I had the dog for many years, and another cat. They were very close friends. Got the kid, but he's all on his own, doesn't need me anymore. And then I got the wife. And we all...
You've taken care of them all quite well, Tom.
Well, I haven't really let anybody down. I mean, not as far as like a dependent is concerned, but
That's more than a lot of people can say. That's for. Yeah.
well, it's not that
You're
hard.
steady. You're steady, Tom.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm saying, see, my goofiness and my sort of irrational like things I do are more geared toward musical things. Like for one thing, I'm a fan of the tritone. See, and the other thing I have, and we talked about this many times in this show, is it's called GAS, guitar acquisition syndrome. I just want to check see what time it is because I got to bring something out here. Oh, 6:37. I have acquired yet another instrument. I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Tom. I'm a guitar addict. Oh, hang on. So I don't know how this one's going to sound when I am sober. Hang on. Wouldn't want that one to fall over. Love that guitar. So this is a G&L. Hang on, what's it called? It's called a ASAT Deluxe. What makes it deluxe is that it has a contoured or slightly curved top on it. Didn't notice how. I think it's been sitting in a guitar shop in Burlington for a while, and I managed to. Hang on, where is that? Managed to get it out. And needs a tune, needs a little tuning. But I just actually want to stretch them out. I strung this up last night. Did a couple other little things to it. So this is, I mean, okay, this is unlike most Telecasters in that it has two humbucker pickups. Not unlike something like a Les Paul. It has a contoured body, and of course there's a curvature in the top, which is also not like unlike a Les Paul. Of course, it has the Fender, or the Telecaster shape to the body. And, yeah, it's going to need some tuning here. It's a G&L, which means it's, G&L stands for George and Leo. And it's probably everybody knows, but I'll tell you anyway. Leo Fender sold his company in the mid-'60s, like 65, I think. I think they changed over in 66. That's 1966. I think Leo Fender got his start in the old days, like in the 40s, fixing radios or something, and started building amplifiers and electric guitars. And the original prototypes of this basic guitar. The Telecaster was, I think, in the 1940s. And so in 1950 or so, or 51, the Fender Broadcaster went into production. And then they had to change the name, so the Telecaster was in production 1952. I think I got all my dates right, but if I don't, you'll have to forgive me. I might be off by a year here or there. I don't know. Stratocaster 1954, and then of course all kinds of amplifiers and all kinds of developments. This shape though is like this shape goes back to the 1940s, basically. But this one is like apparently this is some sort of design that Leo Fender had been working on when he died some years ago, and an old man. So this went into production. This is called the Deluxe. So it has this two double coil pickups. It also has a coil tap. So if I pull this little switch out here, I get that kind of single coil bite, but I also get a lot of noise from the single coil pickup. So if I push it in again, I got double coils. Now, I haven't actually, this is the first time I've actually played this guitar through this amp. And that amp is designed for acoustic guitars. It really is a good match with that electric flamenco. This makes a pretty good electric guitar through an acoustic guitar amp, especially the right electric guitar, makes a pretty good jazz guitar sound. It's got a big, full, rich. brand new strings. If I want to, though, it's picking up all the hum from all the lights and everything. It's zzz. But okay, now I have it in this bridge position, where it's really, and I have the single coil, where it's really single. Well, that was fun. The little trick I was doing there, besides going out of tune, was I was playing kind of a blues, but I was using the Dorian mode for my my solo, as opposed to like a blues scale or a minor scale or a major scale. Thing about modes that you can remember is that I don't play like my Aunt Lucy. I, Ionian, don't, Dorian, play Phrygian like Lydian. I don't play like my Aunt Aeolian, which is the minor scale, Aunt Lucy, Locrian. So those are the modes. But the way I remember it is like, okay, and I know I've got like 2 or 3 minutes left, but 2 minutes left. But okay, so if you play in a like a key, say we're playing in C, that's the Ionian mode, like a, right? And that's no sharps, no flats. If I play in D Dorian, which is the next one up, I use the same key signature. Once again, no sharps, no flats, but I start in D. It goes, right? I don't Dorian play Phrygian. I go up another one, so I went to D. I do an E through E with the same key signature as C. See, so, and so on and so forth. So I never did memorize all the half-step, whole-step ratios in the different modes, but I figured out a way to cheat. So if I ever need to figure out a mode, I just what?
Quick Lydian mode, F to F, that's always my favorite.
Okay. That was Lydian. I did that for Mr. Skopinski there, so. Well, I'll do the Tom's Guitar Show theme in E major here, and I'll see you all next week. Or you'll see me. I can't see you. It's TV. It only goes one way.